Hello everyone, welcome to the show. In our previous episode of the series, we talked about thrust and pressure. Today we are going to talk about buoyancy force and Archimedes principle. Buoyancy or upthrust is an upward force exerted by a fluid that opposes the weight of a partially or fully immersed object. We have also come across many daily life observations of sinking objects in water and floating on it. As boats, ships, plastic bottles, and straws float on the surface of water, some fruits, iron pieces, and stones, etc., don't float on the water. We have also experienced that when we try to sink tightly capped empty bottle in water, it forces up towards the surface. We have also experienced that a heavy piece of brick or iron feels lighter inside the water than outside. Although humans discovered this long ago in history, the net amount of force exerted by water on any object was still a mystery until Archimedes figured it out in 246 BC. Archimedes observed that when we sink any object in a completely filled vessel with water, it displaces some water. He also calculated that the net buoyancy force exerted by water is equal to the weight of displaced water. Archimedes proposed a principle and named this principle after his name, as we can say, the Archimedes principle. This principle states that any object, totally or partially immersed in a fluid or liquid, is buoyed up by a force equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by the object. After all these discoveries, still the mystery of floating some objects and sinking others was yet to unfold. But this mystery was solved by the concept of relative density. We know that every object has a definite density. As water has a density of 997 kg per metric cube and air has 1.24 kg per metric cube. To find the relative density of any object with water, we need to divide the density of object by density of water. According to physics, if the relative density of an object is greater than 1, then it will sink in the water. And if the relative density of an object is less than 1, then it will float on the surface. The concept of buoyancy force is very handy in daily life and in industries as well. It is used in designing ships and submarines. This principle is used in lacometers, which are used to determine the purity of sample of milk, and hydrometers, which are used to determining the density of liquid, etc. After all these studies and discoveries, buoyancy force has yet too much to explore. We will talk about them in our advanced episode. Until then, try to figure out about the most denser liquid on the earth and tell us in the comment box. See you in the next episode. For more information about this or any episode of the series, check out the blog. Link is in the description. We have additional contents, further readings, and transcripts of every show. Thank you for coming to the channel and watching the video. I hope you loved the show.